So
Yes.
I would like children to have those dreams which do not allow them to sleep for some time. Not that you don't sleep the whole night,
Yes. It's not
for some
literally
time.
that you don't sleep, but
And you put that extra 1 hour rather than being on social
absolutely.
media. You put that extra 1 hour towards the dream and you will achieve success. So either your mother teaches you unconditional love, and there are some other people also. There's one more thing that teaches you unconditional love, and I'll just seek your permission to show you that. These animals teach you exactly what mother teaches you, that quality of unconditional love. They don't
Absolutely.
ask for anything, but they still love you. Because if in your professional life you are forming a relationship not for pecuniary interest with someone,
True.
you'll always be successful. 1 in 3 women are impacted by, above the age of 15, are impacted by some form of domestic violence, which is physical, mental, financial, or sexual. The same thing all over applied to men. 1 in 4 men also are subject to domestic violence on all those 4 categories. Unbelievable. My advice to men is, don't you dare ever think that you are superior to them. Either you are equal to them or you are actually inferior to them. Have some shame or have some respect.
Hello, everyone. A warm welcome to my podcast channel, Men's Talk Town. And as you all know by now, that what is the topic of this podcast? So it's about men's expressing their views about women, and it's been very interesting till date. And I have another eminent personality with me, Commander NK Grover. Sir, welcome to the show, and thank you so much for accepting the invitation.
And I feel honored today to be invited to a podcast series run by wonderful Sonali, who has touched a um, very beautiful chord in my heart, because this is a topic which is very close to my heart, and we'll get to know about it more soon.
Thank you so much. So I'm quickly going to introduce Sir and then we'll take this forward. So Commander NK Grover, retired, popularly known as Groovy in view of his personality, was commissioned in the Indian Navy on 1st July 1988. Groovy is an alumnus of India's two most prestigious organizations, the National Defence Academy and Defence Services Staff College, Wellington. He is a specialist in communication and electronic warfare. He's commanded a minesweeper and was also the second in command of India's first sail training ship Tarangini. After his distinguished service in the Navy, he's now settled in Australia, Sydney, along with his family. And not to mention that he has been awarded Chief of Naval Staff Commendation twice, once in 1991 and 1993. Many such awards and applauds I'm sure he has in his kitty. Both his sons are serving in the Australian Army currently. He is very passionate about supporting women and is partner for Clare's Law, WFWPI, that is Women's Federation for World Peace International, supporting action against domestic violence. And that's really wonderful to know. So, thank you so much, sir. It's great knowing about you. So, please tell us a bit more about your work or anything you want to share.
I have a son who's nearly 31 years old, who's in the
Okay,
Australian
okay,
Army,
okay. My bad,
and
yeah.
my second child is a daughter who's also in the Australian Army, and she's
Oh,
doing
I'm sorry. Okay,
That's all
okay,
right. That's all right. Just we're getting to know each
okay.
other. So, going back a few years, I would say I was born in a highly educated, very hardworking, but extremely humble family who came from very, very humble backgrounds. My mother is a 4 degree holder who did a lot of teaching and then social work, and to the point where she was asked by the local MLA to contest elections, which she refused, because she's a philanthropist for time, not philanthropist for money, because they never had too much money. And my father, being a gold medalist in the engineering, he went into the Haryana Irrigation Department and retired at the very top as the engineering in chief of the Haryana Irrigation Department, and served in the MES on deputation as an engineer during war, 1962, 1965, 1971. So, come from a family which is very patriotic. A few of our family members are in the armed forces, and I also come from this educational background. But my parents never forced me to follow a particular profession. They never said become a doctor or an engineer. No. So that's where my dad comes to influence me, and that is, he said to both myself and my sibling, who's 7 years younger to me, whatever you want to do, you go right ahead and do it. I will support you, but you need to strive to be the best. Even if you want to be a cleaner, you need to be the best cleaner. So we
Absolutely.
did. Both of us did strive to be the best in whatever we did. We enjoyed what we did. We're passionate about what we do. My younger brother is a CFO with Citigroup in New York currently, and I went into the National Defense Academy after completing my year 11. We were permitted to go to India at that time. Now it's year 12, I'm told. And physically, I was extremely fit because I was a product of Motilal Nehru School of Sports, Rai, Haryana, specializing in few sport, running cross country and playing football and all other sports, and that helped me in good stead during the National Defense Academy. I joined the Navy I got commissioned in the Navy on the 1st of July 1988, and during that time, I got the opportunity to actually travel to Australia for the Australian bicentennial celebrations.
Oh,
Australia 200, which was 87 and 88, and I was not even commissioned at that time.
okay.
Seeing Australia, meeting the people there, I was an extrovert myself, enjoyed my time, and then that's when I fell in love with Australia, and I told myself, one day, this is the country I want to go and live in. And that dream, as they say, was part of my life, because they say that lucky are those who dream dreams, because only they have the power and capability to make them come true. And this is exactly what I want to share with the younger generation who are coming up, who are going into their careers. Have a dream. And this is not the dream which you dream when you sleep. This is the dream you dream during the day,
Yes.
right? With your eyes open.
Yes, it reminds me of Dr. Abdul Kalam's quote: dreams are not what you see in sleep. Dreams are something that do not let you sleep.
Do not let you sleep.
Sleep,
So
yes.
I would like children to have those dreams which do not allow them to sleep for some time. Not that you don't sleep the whole time.
Yes, it's not
For some
literally
time.
that you don't sleep, but
And you put that extra 1 hour, rather than being on social
absolutely.
media, you put that extra 1 hour towards the dream, and you will achieve success. So that's how I came to Australia in 2005 when I took premature retirement. And I must say this, I must clarify this. When I say premature retirement, means I was 2.5 years away from my pension and I let it go. I migrated. I followed my heart. And now somebody might say I'm stupid. I lost my pension for the rest of my life after serving 17.5 years of active service. But hey, you follow your heart, follow your passion.
Yes, I think it's individual's perspective. It's individual decision.
And India and the Armed Forces gave us the resolve that we could succeed wherever we wanted to be. We would make friends wherever we went. So that's the thing which I followed in Australia. I went into a field which I had no knowledge about, and I grew in that field, and I enjoyed in that field. I'm quite recognized in the field of acoustics in Australia in my capacity, and I'm passionate about that. And also, Simon Sinek says, the biggest thing in life is what's your why? What and how follows, but what is important is
Absolutely.
why. So I have followed my whys to be where I am today, and come to a point in life where I said, that's not my only why. Now my why is also help others. And if I can touch people's lives doing things which will make them happy, which will make them a better person, then I can't ask for a better way to sleep at night.
Thank you so much for sharing a bit more about you. And now we dive straight into the questions. So the first question is, who are the women in your life and how do you encourage them? Now it's a open secret question.
Women in my lives,
Yes.
women in my life. If I start from the top, obviously I'm going to say my mother. Then the next woman who came into my life was my sister. The next woman who came to my life was my wife. And obviously now I'm spending more time with my wife than my
Yes.
sister, so they are there. Then my daughter, right? She's a new generation. She has so much knowledge and she guides me many times. She's also my technology boss.
Technology boss. Yes.
And I learn a lot from her as well.
Yes.
Then I must not miss out on saying a lot of my close classmates who still in contact with me from school. They are some of the wonderful women who even now impact my life. And then, not to mention, my fondest teacher starting from year 7 to year 11, and I must take her name, is Mrs. Vinita Nagarkar.
Okay.
She's now settled in the US. She had a big impact not only on me in the class, she had actually a big impact on all our 75 children batch we were in school. She is the most favorite teacher of everyone in school, in our class, because she came to school when we joined year 7.
So are you
And
still in touch with her?
we talk to her almost every month.
Wow.
Sometimes I even do video conference with her and her husband. And even her husband started knowing these children, because they talk to her so often.
I know. When I mean, what I would like to ask is, when you said that this lady, she had a, great impact in your life. So what kind of impact it was, or what exactly was that thing?
So there are certain things which women teach you, right? Particularly, I'll go to Mrs. Nagarkar as well, but I'm thinking at large. So number one, your mom, for example. Have you heard of a word called unconditional love? So either your mother teaches you unconditional love, and there are some other people also. There's one more thing that teaches you unconditional love, and I'll just seek your permission to show you that.
Please,
All right. All right. I'm
please.
going to show you something that teaches you
Okay,
unconditional.
this is interesting.
All right. Here you go.
Oh my God.
This is my human family member. He is not a dog.
No, I
He-
can
his
relate
name
to
is
that. Yes.
his name is Tiny.
Okay.
And I have another one, which is a 15-year-old Labrador who's now sick, but I can't bring him here.
Okay.
These animals teach you exactly what mother teaches you, that quality of unconditional love. They don't
Absolutely.
ask for anything, but they still love you. And Tiny features on all my video conferences when I'm working from home normally.
That's so sweet. That's so cute.
Thank you, Tiny. Or I'll let him go.
Right.
So that's one quality your mother and your close ladies teach you. Then there are other qualities which I have learned from women. Okay, and you're going to laugh at this. Number one, men are terrible at that, and women are great at that, and that is the ability to multitask.
Okay.
And the ability to multitask in a lighter way can be a huge advantage, but when it comes to men, it's a bloody great disadvantage, because the wife can say, "I told you to do this, do that," and
But then that's okay. I
but
think
that's a
we
huge
are born that
capability.
way.
But that's a huge positive, because she will never let anything miss. Men can miss things. Um, I think women are very straightforward. Men will dilly dally things. They might try to tell lies sometimes to hide things and all that. Women are very straightforward. They will tell you upfront. That's another thing. And I think some men may not agree this, but actually women listen more than men.
That is
I believe
interesting.
men don't listen. Believe me, men don't listen. Before you ask them the question, they will try to give the answer.
Okay.
Whereas women will listen for the purpose of listening and then speak. This is another quality I've learned from you. Right? And I think women form relationships for life. Sometimes men don't. I have used those good things about women and my relationships with them to apply this to not only my family life, but I've applied it to my
Professional
professional life
life.
as well. Because if in your professional life you are forming a relationship not for pecuniary interest with someone,
True.
you'll always be successful.
Yes.
You will form that relationship, you develop the trust, and you take it forward. There are customers or client holders or stakeholders in my life who have stayed with me even if I was not their supplier for a particular solution, and they are now my friends, and we meet for coffee and we have a chat even though we are not doing business together. That is true relationship. So I think these are some of the things which I cherish about relation. And also, sitting and talking to a woman over a cup of coffee gives your life a better perspective. Men talk shop unnecessarily, but when a man and a woman are speaking, they discuss ideas, they discuss
So you
things
you would
from
encourage open conversations, I believe,
absolutely.
more rather than getting into, okay, she's a female, he's a man, and all those things. Just let's have open conversation.
You never think about it. If you're a healthy person, your mind is clear, then
True.
you will benefit greatly from
Mm-hmm.
the observations of a woman. She will tell you upfront, Nishi, this is not right. You shouldn't be doing this. Or Nishi, this is great. Go right ahead and do it. So I
Mm-hmm.
have had the fortune of so many workmates, including Sonali, to have a open heart-to-heart conversation. And that's why I
Yes.
feel blessed today that I'm sitting in this podcast with you. I feel honored.
Oh, it's an honor for me too. Sir, one next question I would like to definitely ask you is you work for the organization you mentioned, which is into protecting women from domestic violence or supporting them. So please tell us a bit more about it and how does it work and how do you support?
I'm a volunteer partner to Clare's Law. Let me give you a bit of a background.
Okay,
Indians generally do
sure.
not know what is Clare's Law. Clare's Law is a law which emanated from the UK. It's gone across to the Canada and it's gone across to the New Zealand and been accepted as a law. Now, who's Claire first? Claire is a lady who was in the UK who was murdered by her ex-partner, domestic violence again. And her father started a petition in the UK and then slowly pushed it, and became a law. Now, what is Clare's Law? So, if you were to go to the police and say, I'm in a relationship with XYZ, can you
Hmm.
tell me the past criminal history of this XYZ?
Hmm.
In Australia, at least, the first thing they'll tell you is, sorry, that is confidential information. Who are you?
Right.
Oh, I'm getting married to this person tomorrow. Right. I'm sorry, sir. Sorry, ma'am. We can't tell you. So there is an embargo on that, right? But what if they told you, and what if 2 days after marriage, you said thank you very much, or you said I'm not getting married to this guy because he has a history? Maybe that could save your life.
Yes, absolutely.
And this is exactly what is happening today in Canada, UK, and New Zealand. So many lives have been saved. Now, this Clare's Law has two components. Number one component is the client can go to the police and say, I'm so and so, here's my ID. I'm getting into a relationship with this person. This is the person. Provide the ID or not the ID, just the information of the person. Does this person have a history of domestic violence? If you have a doubt, right? And the police will check the records and say
Hmm.
yes or no. And they give you the information. They are obliged to give you the information when this becomes a law. And the second part is the police are actively monitoring people registered for domestic violence.
Oh,
And they can pick up the phone. Hey, Solani, can you please come to the police station today? We need to talk to you about something. Or can I come and meet you at your residence? We've come to know that you are right now in a relationship with so and so, but I need to warn you that this person has a history of domestic violence. So now that way, the blood is not on the police hands. So it's in your hands actually. You decide now your future. Right?
yes.
So if it is enacted as a law universally in Australia, which is what we are doing, we're trying to get the petition across. We've just
Hmm.
already successfully lodged the petition. And in times to come, if it does become a law, then you remember this. In Australia, forget about other places, which is even worse. In Australia, and I was shocked to read these figures, 1 in 3 women are impacted by, above the age of 15, are impacted by some form of domestic violence, which is physical, mental, financial, or sexual. Can you
Oh,
imagine? Can you imagine a country like Australia? 1 in 3 women? And now the next figure is going to even surprise you more. The same thing all over applied to men. 1 in 4 men also are subject to domestic violence on all those 4 categories. Unbelievable.
but
I was
that's a
stunned.
I mean, the
Huge
ratio
number.
is
33% and 25% make it almost 29% or whatever of the population. So, so what you come to a time when you say, what's my why? What am I doing here? What is my purpose? And you know what? 90% of us die without having a purpose in life. I'm passionate about certain things. So I decided that I'm going to get involved here. And at the moment, I'm only one of two people who are men who are chasing this purpose. Everybody else in our team is a woman. So I feel proud about that I'm contributing to a cause which is very dear to my heart. And there is a reason for that. Why am I doing that? And I can't name the person, but one very close family member, I named some ladies, right? One of those ladies in my not immediate one but slightly remote one, badly impacted by domestic. So that's why it's a why.
yes, you feel like initiating and doing things. Absolutely. So
Sorry,
any
I've been
equivalent?
going on. Sorry, I've been going on too much on
No,
this
no,
because I'm.
absolutely. It's absolutely good, and I think you're sharing a lot of important information, which matters because what even I can see is it's not only women but men are equally suffering,
Almost.
or the usually the statistics or parameters, or even I would say the assumption is that women
It is a
undergo a lot
woman.
of harassment and women. So
Right.
it's not only that, it's so the idea also of this platform is to give that voice to men where
Beautifully put.
they feel actually under some kind of pressure, or even they are suffering at times.
That's
So my question also was that do you find, or do you think there is an equivalent kind of, not maybe not law or some kind of facility which is there in India? Have you come across, like you mentioned about Clare's law, when the lady can go to the police and find out about the.
there are a lot of organizations in India who are supporting similar causes,
Okay.
but I don't know the Indian law as such. I'm sure there is a lot of change that has come about in the recent times, and if you dig a bit into the Indian law, you will clearly see. But the question is, even if there are laws in our great country, who's got the power and capability to run those laws? I shouldn't be saying this, but most of the time people are buying them out of themselves, out of situations. It happens everywhere, I know, but
Yes, it happens everywhere.
the number of times you hear about cases that have been put underground on domestic violence, women have been
Hmm.
burnt.
Yes.
How many movies have come out on this, and they are very strong movies. I remember one of them was lead player was Rani Mukherjee's movie about somebody who died in Delhi or something, who killed something, murder mystery or whatever it was. So there are a lot of
Who killed Jessica?
Jessica, who killed Jessica and all that.
It's
So there are
yes,
so many
it's a very
cases there.
famous Jessica Lal case.
Yes, so many cases, but they become cases after the person's died.
Died, yes.
What we are
That's
trying
sad.
to do is to ensure the lives are not lost, because once the life is lost, the person's never coming back.
True.
And that's why Claire's father started this. She was gone, but he wanted to help other women or men not die at the hands of their partners.
I believe if more men are sensitive, and more men, if they involve in such activities or get attached to such organizations, at least the information will flow. It's not always about working, but at
Yes,
least the awareness
I
is required, and you being actively involved is a very very commendable thing. It's a very positive thing. But on a large scale, I feel that if even men at least get to know this, they are more aware, then that would change the face of the society, probably a bit more positive.
what I got to say there, what I got to say there is that it starts at home, Sonali. Okay, I learn and see and educate myself on how my father treats my mother and how my mother treats my, and then I say I'm never going to do that to my wife, or I say I love it, dad. That's how I'm going to treat my wife. If we are going to have households where they actually teach to treat the woman as a second-rated citizen, I don't see us going much far further. You tell me how many men today actually cook meals, forget about other things. They all help their wives in cleaning the house, and they all take pride in sharing 50% of the workload, because the wife is not sitting at home anymore. There's nothing like I'm the bloody breadwinner of the family and you look after the children and the house. Both are breadwinners. Both have equal rights. And I tell you what, why women are superior than men. Do you know?
No, you have to tell that.
Do you know what is the in newtons, what is the pain threshold a woman bears through when she delivers a child? A man will die. A man does not have that pain threshold to bear a child, number one. And woman is the only one who can bear a child. So that's why women are superior. Everything else a woman can do.
Yes.
Whatever a man can do, a woman can do. But woman additionally can bear children. Right? So obviously woman is superior. And in our scriptures, in our gods, we are praying to the woman, we are making her the goddess, but do we treat a woman like a goddess at home?
Like, no.
That's the question. I mean, I might also have arguments with my wife once in a while, but that doesn't take away anything. I still love and respect her. And when she listens to this podcast, she may turn around and say, "Acha, that's what he's talking about me."
I know, I know. No, but I think one very, very important point that you brought out here is, especially in Indian scenario, I would like to highlight this is when you speak about upbringing, because we have a culture of living with in a joint family with our grandparents, great grandparents, and mm, it's not about education, it's not about having the generation gap, it's about
Mhm.
the mentality, how
Yes.
your grandparents are, treating their bahu and their, coming
Next
daughter-in-laws,
generation.
and
Yes.
how a child sees his father treating the female in the family. It has a large impact on the mind, and many things, as we say, nowadays people say, okay, don't tell your child not to be on mobile, you don't be on mobile, because they are not listening to you, they are watching you. So if you sit with a book, they'll sit with a book. Now if you are shouting on your wife, if you are constantly fighting, or if you are not giving that respect, the child is automatically learning. You don't have to sit with the child and teach, listen, you respect women, or you don't respect, you don't have to teach. He or
It
she is
comes
just
within
watching
them.
that. So I think that's a very, very, very important and deep point, I feel, which people need to understand. So thank you for sharing that, especially in cultures.
I'm saying beautifully stated, and it reminds me of a very simple line to sum up what you said is we are bloody hypocrites. And you know why? Because we are not good leaders at home. We are do as I say, but don't do as I do.
Yes, absolutely, I agree. So my one last question to you is that what is that one advice you want to give to men to, they can change or implement or make their behavior better so as to create a safer space for women? It can be anything.
Very, very beautiful question. Okay. And it's going to give me some effort to answer this. But from my heart, the first thing is whether it's a man or it's a woman, the first thing I got to tell everybody is just follow your heart, follow your passion. Yes, use your brain, not like me, just bloody resigned without pension, migrated, kuch to kar lunga Australia pahunch ke, like. So don't always go like that. Follow your passion, follow your heart. When you take a decision, consult with your family, etc. But the most important thing is find out your why,
No,
both
I
of
mean
you.
with respect to women.
I'm coming
What
to that.
what Okay.
I'm going to that. For find out your why and follow or chase in a practical way, chase happiness. And when it comes to women, my advice to men is don't you dare ever think that you are superior to them. Either you are equal to them or you are actually inferior to them. Have some shame or have some respect and be grateful to God Lord that you have a family. Courtesy that woman. Be grateful to that lady that she leaves her home, even is willing to change her name for you and comes and lives in your family and sometimes even is badly treated by your family. Support her and she will hold your hand for life. And she's the only one who will hold your hand for life. Your parents are going to go away. Your children won't going to be caring for you after 30 years. That woman will be standing right next to you. So love her,
So true.
support her, and respect her as much as
Beautiful.
you can.
Thank you so much. I think what you shared, that follow your heart, what comes to my mind here is that people, or especially men who, who think of this, or maybe, who do not look at women respectfully, in their heart, I think in their heart, somewhere down the line, they know it's not correct.
Of course.
But
Absolutely.
they are ignoring that call.
Or their
So
ego, male chauvinist ego
maybe,
is coming into the way.
maybe, maybe. But I think you have brought it out very beautifully, and I'm so thankful to you that we discussed this. Thank you so much, sir, for being on the show and sharing your views. Thank
The
you so much.
pleasure and honor is the pleasure and honor is entirely mine, and this is a beautiful memory you provided me. Thank you so much.
Thank you.